A very good morning to the teachers, parents, and students. I'm Jagdishwari from SJKT Ladang Nova Scotia 1 and the moderator for today's session. Before I start, I would like to thank all of you for joining us today in our YouTube live classroom, which is brought to you by Sudaroli Valaiyoli YouTube channel in collaboration with National Malaya Tamil Schools Teachers Union. I would like to convey our appreciation to the President of Union and Headmaster of SJKT Bagan Mr. R.P. Jayagopalan, and not to forget the team working hard for us behind the screen, Ms. Parimala, our Education Officer from PPD Manjung, Mr. Gunalan, our Education Officer from PPD Manjung, Ms. Pusparada, the Headmistress of SJKT Kampung Columbia, Mr. Danesh Balakrishnan, the ICT teacher from SJKT Ladang Nova Scotia 1, and Ms. Sarala Krishnan, the ICT teacher from SJKT Kampung Tun Samandan. I would also like to thank Dato Saravanan, our Human Resource Minister, Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Perak, Hilir Perak, Bagan Datuk and Manjung District Education Office, eDIDIK, MindAppz, Pertubuhan Kesusasteraan Bharati, and the online media supporters Anegan.com and Yen Tamil. Although schools are closed during the period of lockdown, the spirit to educate our children will never fade among the educators. We greatly value and appreciate everyone's support towards Sudaroli Valaiyoli team. Your support helps to boost our confidence and motivate us to do more for our community. Please allow me to introduce the speaker of today's session. She is Miss Vijayamalar Gunushakran, an English language teacher currently teaching at SJKT KLEBANG, CHEMOR. She is also an English language district trainer, CEFR master trainer, and district EL module builder. Today, she will be sharing with us the right techniques of answering section C about essay writing on paper 2. There are a few reminders for all viewers, especially the students. First, please use the chat box to write positive comments. Second, use appropriate language. Third, use live chat to ask questions and about today's topic. Fourth, don't post unnecessary emojis and unwanted messages because it will distract the others. If anyone against this rule, the admin will block you from the live chat. Hope all of you understand the rules. Kindly subscribe this channel and click the notification bell for upcoming classes. Without further ado, I would like to pass the session to our speaker today to start her lesson. Mrs. Vijayamalar, let's explore today's lesson together.
Thank you, dear moderator. First and foremost, I'm delighted to be here, and I would like to express my gratitude to the organizers of Sudaroli Valaiyoli on pioneering this virtual school that has provided and still providing students with precious insights on important topics. Furthermore, a big thank you to my headmistress, Madam Padmini Dorisingam, for the constant support, and not forgetting all my well-wishers who has kept me in their prayers always. All right, without further ado, let's begin our session for today. So today we'll be looking into paper 2, section C, where obviously all of you know what it is all about. Okay, so we'll be looking into essay writing. Now, before we move on, we need to know, and of course we need to recall on the writing papers format. Okay, so when it comes to section C, all right, we have 25 marks. Okay, these are the marks allocated for this section. All right. And there are 2 questions given. Okay. So the first one would be a single picture with a set of words. As you can see on your screen, all right, there's an example on how it looks like. Okay. And we will always have start your story with. Okay. They will be given a phrase where you begin your essay with that phrase. Okay. The next one, the second question will be on 3 pictures, and you will be given 3 sets of words. Okay, as you can see in the example shown over there. Okay, now the question is, are you supposed to actually answer both questions? No. All right, that's where we have the word or. So you are supposed to choose only one question. All right. So today we'll be looking into the second question where you have 3 pictures with 3 sets of words. Okay? All right. So the focus of our session today, especially in essay writing, is going to be on template style writing. Okay? How are we going to go about on writing the correct sentence pattern? Okay? And the next one will be arranging your ideas and presenting them in a well-crafted paragraph. Okay, so the number of paragraphs needed. So all this we'll be looking into it. Okay, and last but not least, effective vocabulary. All right, so the words that you use should be effective enough to attract the reader's attention and also makes your sentence look good. Okay, so first things first. Now, how are you going to actually start writing your essay? Is it going to be like, look at the question and just go on with it? No. So this is where the framework is important. Okay, so when it comes to framework, you will have your introduction first. Okay, and you move on with your content, and you have your closure. Okay, so this is the basic framework when it comes to essay writing. Now, what about the paragraph? So for introduction, we will have 1 paragraph. For content, we will have 3 paragraphs, and for closure, 1 paragraph. So in total, you will actually have 5 paragraphs. All right. Now, why do we need 5 paragraphs, and why are we arranging them according to each introduction, each content, and each closure, so that your ideas will actually be written neatly? Okay. So I hope you understand in that section. Okay. So how are we going to go about is we will go through with a sample activity. All right. So I hope you are ready with your pencils or your pen, your notebooks, and of course the heart to actually learn what we are going to be doing for this session today. Right. So this is the example of the question that you will receive. Okay. So we have 3 pictures. All right. As you can see, 1, 2, 3. Okay. We have 3 pictures. And there's a question given above. All right. So the first thing that you need to do is you have to read the question's requirement. Okay. So let's look at the question. Okay. Let's read together. Write a story based on the pictures below. You may use the words given to help you. Write your answers in the space provided. Write your story between 80 to 100 words. Okay, so the question is actually asking you to write a story based on the pictures. Okay, so you cannot stray away from the pictures given. It has to be about the pictures. All right? And you may use the words given. So for instance, you do not understand certain words that are given, you can actually skip those words. Okay? Or you can just ignore those words. But bear in mind, you cannot ignore all the words given. All right? So you can just ignore one or two words which you don't seem to understand. Okay? Right. And of course, the word count that matters. So your story has to be between 80 to 100 words. Now, for some of you, this might be a bit challenging, but don't worry. Once you follow what we are going to be doing today, it's going to be very simple for you too. Okay? Right. Step 2. Understand the words given. Okay, so what words? The words that are given based on each picture. For example, if you look at this first picture, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 words given. All right, so I'm pretty sure it's quite simple for you to understand. Same thing goes with the second one and the third picture as well. All right. Right? So you have given the sets of words. So what you need to understand here is which word is a subject, which word is a verb, and which is an object. Okay? So this is actually the basic sentence pattern style. All right? Your S, V, and O. Subject, verb, and object. All right? Okay. The next one would be to identify the subject and pronouns. Now, this section is very important. Okay? Now, subject. Subject does not mean your subject in your school, for example, your VM, your maths, or your science. All right? Subject in this context refers to who, the characters, exactly. Who are the characters in the story? Okay? So, how are you going to find this? Where are you going to find it from? Yes, from the pictures itself. Okay? So, let's look at the picture. So, in picture 1, okay, you can see there's a lady there. Okay? And of course, somebody who is cooking, who is wearing an apron, and who would that person be? Mother. Exactly. So I've named that person as Siti's mother. Okay? The next one, if you can see in the second picture, all right, there's a girl over there and she's on the phone. All right, so I'm going to name her Siti. Okay? And the last picture, as you can see, all right, there are 2 firemen over there. So, firemen. Okay, so you have to identify the characters or the subject of the story. Right, moving on, you have to identify the pronouns. Okay, now this is, of course, subsequently important to the subject because you'll be using this a lot in your sentence. Now, pronouns, what does it do? It replaces the characters. For example, I'm sure you have gone through all this when it comes to your grammar section. Okay, so the pronouns that we always use, which is commonly used for writing an essay, is he, him, his, himself. Okay, so we have this over here. All right, if your character has the character of a boy, of a man. All right. The next one would be she, her, hers, herself. All right. So this section over here is for the female characters. All right. And the next one would be they, their, theirs, themselves. Okay. So this one over here would be if you can see if they are in a group. All right. And if it's in a plural form. Okay, so these are the commonly used pronouns in writing an essay. Okay, so let's link those to our characters. So we have Siti's mother, we have Siti, and we have fireman. All right, so Siti's mother and Siti both will be referred to the category she. Okay, so you will be using she, her, hers, herself, while fireman will be using they. All right, so that one will be going under the category of they. All right, so I hope you can actually go through this as a practice right before you begin to write your essay. Okay? All right. The next one that I would like to share to you would be the template style writing. Now, I find this method, this approach, very easy. All right, it's a very simple method that actually helps all category students. Okay, so all of you can actually try this out. So, what is TSVO? Okay, yes, as you can see, T stands for time, S stands for subject, V is for verb, and O is for object. Okay, so time, what does it mean by time? Does it mean like, at 3 o'clock, at 12 o'clock? What is it about? Okay, so time refers to time connective words. Okay, so for example, one afternoon. Suddenly, in the midst of cooking, out of the blue. Okay, so these are the examples of time connective words written in a phrase. Okay, so I'm sure you're all very used to this kind of phrases. Okay, because you use it all the time. But when I put it in this way, you might be actually confused a little bit. But yeah, as you go on, you will actually get it. All right, so time connective words. Next, let's look at subject. So I've mentioned previously, subject is the character. Okay, so under character, we have Siti, her mother, the fireman. Okay, so this is quite simple to you. Right, moving on, verb. Verb are action words. Okay, so we have was talking, was cooking, put out. Okay, so these are the examples of action words. And last, we have object, which refers to nouns, adverbs, and etc. Okay, for example, on the telephone, in the kitchen, the fire. So as you can see, all right, as you look at the table in front of you, you can actually see the sentence pattern has taken place. All right, so you have the time, one afternoon, subject, Siti, verb, was talking, and object, on the telephone. So as you follow this, you can actually come up with a perfect sentence. Now remember, this is for practice purpose only. Okay, so as you practice writing this way, writing a sentence for your essay wouldn't be a problem later on. Okay, so I'm going to guide you today with this table, and you are actually going to go through how this table is going to help you out. Okay, let's go to our introduction. Okay, so when it comes to introduction, remember, introduce the main character. Okay, so how? Simple. You need to have 2 sentences. Okay, now I limit to 2 sentences so that it would just remain on the character there. All right, it would just remain on introducing the character. I do not want to put in too many things in my introduction. Okay, so make sure 2 sentences, and it has to be in the present tense. Okay, because you're introducing somebody, all right, and they are still there, so present tense. and this would be in one paragraph. Okay, so for example, the activity that we have chosen. Now, if you look at this picture, this girl over there, remember Siti? Yes, so she is going to be the main character in this story. Okay, and as you can see, she's talking on the telephone and her mother is kind of busy doing something. All right, so how are you going to write your introduction, the two sentences? Okay, remember this: adjective, justify. Now you begin your first sentence by describing Siti. So if you look at the picture given, all right, Siti is a person who, as you know, she loves to talk on the phone, right? So use an adjective to describe Siti. So there you go. Siti is a chatty girl. Now, what is the meaning of chatty? Chatty means a person who loves to talk. And as you can see, she's on the phone talking to someone. Okay, so that is how you begin your first sentence. Okay, moving on. The second one, justify. Now, the word justify means to give reasons. Okay, now why are you calling her a chatty girl? Why did we describe her as a chatty girl? Because she often gets carried away. Now, please pay attention to the words highlighted in green. Okay, these are the words that actually will help you express your ideas well. Okay, so she often gets carried away. That means she gets too involved when she's talking on the phone. She forgets what happened or what is happening around her when she's on the phone. Okay, so the word gets carried away, that is very important. Okay, right, so remember, two sentences. So we have got two, all right, for your introduction, and they have to be in present tense. Okay, so I'll just remind you again, your introduction, describe the character with an adjective, and then justify the sentence. Okay, all right, so now let's put this in one paragraph. Okay, so remember I told you we're going to be using the TSVO style. All right, so this is how it's going to be. Now remember, this is only for practice purpose. Okay, so as you know, subject, we have Siti, verb is, object, a chatty girl. All right, so this is how you arrange your sentence. All right, and the next one would be, she often gets carried away when she talks on the telephone, under object. All right, clear, right? Okay, so let's put them into our paragraphing. So remember, introduction, you have only one paragraph. Okay, so this is the example of your notebook, for instance. And remember, when you begin your paragraphs, you need to actually have some space from the margin. Okay, so can you see my arrow over there? It's telling you to actually move. Okay, all right, so there you go. So we have Siti is a chatty girl and the justification as well. Okay, so remember, only two sentences, which will actually keep your introduction short, simple, and sweet. All right, so this is for introduction. Now, good job. Give me a high five. All right, let's move on to our content. Now, when it comes to content, we are going to put all the content in 3 paragraphs. Okay, so we will have 3 paragraphs when it comes to content. Okay, and remember, once you start writing your content, it has to be in past tense. Okay, all right. So we have our first picture, the second one, and the third one. Okay, so what do I mean by 3 paragraphs? Yes, the first picture, will be in one paragraph. The second one paragraph. And the third one will be in one paragraph. So in total, you have 3 paragraphs. Okay, I'm just going to remind you again, one picture, all right? Each picture, one paragraph. Okay, so your ideas will be actually arranged neatly. All right, let's move on to content 1. Content 1, here we have this picture over here. Okay, I'm bringing in my table. Now let's look at the words that are already given. Now we have mother. So mother comes under subject, kitchen, object, rose, verb, party, object, and evening, object. Now, if you just look at the word evening, I did not put it under time, okay, because I want it to be in my object. You still can do that. All right. So now we are going to fill in the blanks. Okay. So let's put in our time connective words. 1 afternoon. So subject, mother. So whose mother is it? Remember our main character? Yes, Siti's mother. So what was she doing in the kitchen? Was busy in the kitchen. There you have it. So can you see how beautifully the sentence is created? All right. So that's how you go about it. Now, try to keep your sentences simple. Do not put in too many words to confuse yourself and also the person who is reading your essay. All right. Just keep it simple and direct. Okay, let's go on to the next one. She, as in the subject. Now we have brought in our pronouns here. Remember, she wanted to roast. Now, why do I use the word wanted to? If you would pay attention to the word roast, it is not in past tense. So to bring it into a past tense sentence, I've added the word wanted to roast. Okay, so what she wanted to roast, if you look at the picture, yes, a chicken. Look at that. It is a chicken. All right, so a chicken party, for a party later that evening. Okay, so she wanted to roast a chicken for a party later that evening. So can you see how beautifully your sentence has been created? Now, this is the technique of writing good sentences, okay, using the TSVO template. All right, so you did great if you managed to get this done. Okay, let's put it in one paragraph. All right, so we have already done our introduction just now. So let's put in our content 1. So there you go. I'm still following the same paragraph style. Okay? Can you see I've left some space from the margin to write my sentences? Okay. Did you get that? Okay, good. Let's go to content 2. Okay, if you look at content 2, we have this picture over here. Okay, and as you can see, all right, we have our table. Okay, let's put in the words given. So fruits. Fruits comes under, yes, object. Good job. Okay, what about ask? Where does the word go to? Yes, verb. Okay, what about check? If you look at the word check, it is not in past tense. Okay, so now mind, we'll just put it there. Later on, we'll get to it. All right, the next one would be chicken. So the word chicken comes under object. Very good. And the next one, simple, talking, verb. Good job. Okay, now we have to connect our story. Okay, so the time connective word is very important here. So I'm going to use in the midst of cooking. Now, what is the meaning of in the midst? That means while you are doing something. okay, while you are doing an activity. For example, cooking. So while the mother was cooking, okay, that's what it means. So I'm actually connecting the story here. All right, so subject, we refer to her mother. Remember the pronoun her? Yes. So her mother. Now, remembered that she needed. Now, I've added this there because if you can see, suddenly while she's cooking, she's like actually going out somewhere. If you look at the picture, all right, she's actually opening the door and she's about to leave. All right, so remembered that she needed. Okay, the word fruits, I'm going to add in a quantifier there. Some fruits, too. Okay, so if you look at the story here, in the midst of cooking, her mother remembered that she needed some fruits too. So for the party that she's preparing, she wants fruits as well. So that's why if you can see, if you can look at the picture, she's actually getting ready to go out. All right. And now let's move on to the next one. Time again. So before leaving to the market. All right. So yeah, I'm still referring. If you look at my words that I've chosen, it still refers to the picture. All right. We are not going anywhere else. So before leaving to the market, she, again, we have used a pronoun there. She asked. So who did she ask? Siti. Very good. She asked Siti to check. All right. So check on what? On the chicken. Very good. All right. So I hope you're actually following me. Okay. I'm actually going one by one with you. All right. So on the chicken, I'm going to put in a conjunction here. But. All right. But Siti, coming back to the subject, but Siti was busy talking. Yes. So if you look at the picture, she's busy talking. What? On the telephone. So that comes under object. Okay. Wow. Content 2 is actually very important. That's why you can see my number over there that is blinking all the time, because you need to actually connect the story well. All right. So this is the example of how you can connect the story with what kind of words. All right. So let's go through it again. In the midst of cooking, her mother remembered that she needed some fruits too. Before leaving to the market, she asked Siti to check on the chicken, but Siti was busy talking on the telephone. Okay? Good job. Wow, this is actually, you have to put in quite a bit of effort into getting a proper sentence. Okay, so let's put it in one paragraph. Okay, so we have already got our introduction and content 1. Let's put in content 2. There you go. Okay, so as you can see, in the midst of cooking, there you go. I've actually left out, okay, I've given some space from the margin, all right, and I've got all the sentences written well. Now, as you have already gone to content 2, you can actually see how the paragraph evolves, okay? You can actually see how beautifully your ideas are presented. That is why you need to put in your paragraphing well, all right? So each and every one of it will be written in a beautiful paragraph. And the person who's reading your essay wouldn't have a problem understanding the ideas in it. That is why your paragraphing is very important. Okay? All right. So let's go to content 3. Okay. So content 3, if you look at the picture, all right, so it is almost towards the end of it. As you can see, firemen, okay, and they have a hose in their hand, all right, And I'm pretty sure you know what is actually happening. So remember, Siti was supposed to check on the chicken, but do you think she remembered? Do you think that she actually checked on the chicken? No. So there must be something about a fire there. Something burned, right? So let's look at the words given. Okay, so I've got in my TSVO template. Okay, so let's look at the word smelt. Smelt will be under verb. Okay, burning. Okay, I'm still going to put that under verb. Called. Verb again. Okay, the next one would be fire brigade. Do you know what a fire brigade is? Yes, meaning the people who are at the fire station. Okay, it is called a fire brigade. We are so used to the word fire station. All right, so fire brigade is actually the group of people, the group of firemen. Okay, they are known as the brigade. So fire brigade. Okay. All right, the next one is apologize. Now the word apologized, I am not going to use in my content 3. I'm going to use that word in my closure. Okay, so I will just focus only on this 4 words over here. Okay, so let's put in our time connective word again. Out of the blue. Now this is actually a very common phrase. Okay, what does out of the blue mean? It means suddenly. Exactly. All right, so you can use idioms as well. All right, no problem in that. But try to reduce the usage of proverbs. All right, we will come to that later. Okay, so out of the blue. Okay, subject, smelled. Who smelled? Siti, because she's the one at home at the moment, right? So Siti smelled what? Something burning in the kitchen. There you go. All right, so let's go through it again. Out of the blue, Siti smelled something because at that moment, she can't actually recall, she can't remember what is actually going on in the kitchen. So we use the word something burning in the kitchen. Okay? All right, let's move on to the next one. Immediately. Yes, it means quickly. So another time connective word over there. So immediately, she, referring to Siti, we have used a pronoun there. She called the fire brigade. Okay, so you put in your article, the over there. All right, so clear, right? A simple sentence. Now, I do not want to leave my story hanging over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in another sentence there. Right, so luckily, all right? So why am I using this? Luckily, because I want to mention that the fireman got to the scene on time. Okay, so luckily, the fireman, my subject, managed to put out. All right, the meaning that they have actually controlled the fire. The fire. Okay, so luckily, the fireman managed to put out the fire. So I've added an extra sentence over there to connect my story. Okay, to actually give something interesting for my story. Okay, so we have got 3 sentences over here. Now, did you manage to get it? All right. Wow, you have done a good job, everyone. Okay, let's put it into one paragraph. There you go. So we have already gone through introduction, content 1, content 2, and now content 3. There you have it. So remember your paragraphing, space from the margin, all right? And write your sentences beautifully. So at this point, you can actually see how beautifully it is written, how nice your ideas are presented. Okay? Right. Let's move on. Come on, we can do this together. Let's move on to our closure, our final part. Okay, so when it comes to closure, what happens here? You conclude the essay. Conclude means to end the story, to wrap up the story. Okay, so I've brought in my template again. Now here, remember the word apologized? Yes, I'm going to use it here. So once all this incident has taken place, who is going to apologize? Who do you think will apologize? I can't hear you. Yes, Siti. Very good. Okay, so Siti apologized to whom? To her mother for her carelessness. Okay, because she was being careless. She did not bother to actually check on the chicken. So we are going to tell her not to do this again. So yes, Siti apologized to her mother for her carelessness. Okay, now you can actually end your story here, but I'm just going to put in one more sentence to actually wrap up the whole thing. All right, so this is a very common sentence which I use with my students as well, and I want you to try them out too. So it comes under subject. It was an unforgettable incident for her. Okay, so something which you cannot forget. All right, so the word incident refers to what that has just happened. Okay, all right, so this goes under one paragraph as well. All right, so let's put it, there you go. Okay, so we have already gone through the introduction, content 1, 2, 3, and the last one would be the closure. So same thing over there. All right, your paragraphing, have some space from the margin, and you put in your sentences. Okay, so here you can actually have an overall view, a clearer picture on how an essay is written. As you can see, I've put in my introduction in one paragraph. I've kept it very simple. I've only got 2 sentences over there, all right, which introduces the character. All right, remember, in your introduction, you introduce the character, the main character, and you justify based on the adjective. All right, in content 1, 2, and 3, you will be writing your sentences based on the picture and the words of set given. Okay, so same thing there. Now remember, when you're writing all your sentences, your TSVO is very important. All right, and when it comes to closure, you conclude your story. You wrap up your story. All right, because it is towards the end already. So keep it simple as well. If you are able to write only in one sentence, why not? All right, just remember, when you are arranging your ideas, arrange it nicely, neatly, and appropriately. All right, don't mix up your ideas because it will disrupt or disturb the flow of your story. Okay, so give yourself a round of applause because you have actually managed to write an essay, right? It's that simple, right? I told you, as you follow this, it's not going to be that difficult. All right? Okay, now the next section would be on effective vocabulary. Now, do you know, did you all count how many words did we write just now? You did not, didn't you? Okay, no worries. We will do it together. Okay, so this is where I'm going to compare for you on writing effective vocabulary. Okay, what does it mean by effective vocabulary? Now, vocabulary is actually the words that you use, okay, and how effective they are. All right. So this is actually the essay that we have written together just now. Okay. So everything is there. Now, the total number of words is 110. OMG. We have actually exceeded the word count. What am I supposed to do? Okay, so this is a technique that I'm going to teach you on how you can reduce your word count. Now, reduce as in you cut short. Okay, you don't talk too much, but your idea is direct. Okay, so I'm going to show you the effective one over here. There you go. Okay, so if you look at this section over here, okay, just follow my laser. Okay, my laser pointer over here, and I will actually show you. Now, Siti is a chatty girl. Now, what I've done here is I've put in a contraction over here. Siti's a chatty person. Okay, so instead of using chatty girl, I've used the word chatty person. All right, she often gets carried away. So I've changed it with gets overly involved. Now, these ones are much more stronger. They are not commonly used words. Okay, so this would actually help you to gain more marks. Okay, when she talks on the phone, I've changed with when she's on the phone. So the usage of contraction helps in reducing the word count. Okay, all right. The next one would be, these are all the same. Right, later that. So I've changed with later that to that was long overdue. She wanted to roast a chicken for a party that was long overdue. So these are the examples of, okay, vocabulary that you can use. Okay, in the midst of cooking, remember our time connective phrase over here? I've changed to while at it. All right, because we know that she's cooking, so the word it refers to her cooking. So while at it. Her mother, the word remembered, I've changed to recalled. All right, that she needed some fruits too. Okay, before leaving the market, I've changed to before heading out. So these are the examples that you can actually use in your essay. All right, the word but, I've changed to however. Busy talking, I've used engaged. All right, not the engaged that you seem to know, but yeah, this one. All right, busy talking. So she was engaged on the telephone. Okay, suddenly, so instead, let's say you do not want to use this one. You can use this one instead. Instantaneously. Okay, all right, instantaneously. All right, yeah. It's quite difficult to pronounce, but you can actually use it. All right, instantaneously. There you go. Wow. All right, so instantaneously, Siti smelled something burning in the kitchen. All right, immediately, I've changed with at once. All right, at once, she called the fire brigade. The word luckily, fortunately. All right, managed to put out, I've used succeeded in putting out. Okay, so these are the words that you can use. And the next one, I did not actually put in two sentences over here. I've actually put it all in one. Siti learned her lesson and apologized to her mother for her negligence. All right, so negligence means carelessness. Okay, so there you have it. Wow, those words. Okay, how are you able to actually choose the words given to actually write in your essay? Okay, now if you look at the words that I've changed, all these are actually a total of 100 words only. Right, so remember our word count is actually 80 to 100 words. So we have got it into 100 words. Kudos. All right, so if you look at this, effective vocabulary can reduce the number of words if you use them correctly. Okay, so these are the examples of the synonyms that I've used just now. All right. So if you know, synonyms are the examples of words or phrases that could enhance your writing. All right. So these are the words that I've used. So if you want to take it down, you want to jot down in your book or anything, you can go ahead. Or you can actually view this video later on while you're practicing your essay writing too. Okay. So how are you going to get these words? All right. Is this going to be very difficult? No. You can actually Google all these words. Everything is out there. It's just about you taking your effort and searching for it. You will get it. Okay, so synonyms, there you go. Okay, so we have almost come to the end of our essay writing session. So what we have done today, there you go. We have managed to go through the template style writing, all right, which actually helps in arranging words into a beautiful sentence, all right? And we have presented all our ideas in well-crafted paragraphs. Okay, remember, each and every one is written in one paragraph. Okay, so the total number of paragraphs, make sure you limit yourself to only 5. Do not go more than 5. Okay, all right. So when it comes to my style, I prefer 5 paragraphs. Don't go more than that because you're going to add in too many words and you're going to go over the word count limit. Okay, so present your ideas in proper paragraphs. All right, and of course, something which you must try to use. Do not just rely on simple common vocabulary. Try using effective vocabulary as what we have done just now. Okay, so we have used effective vocabulary, and using this kind of words actually helps in delivering your ideas better. Okay? All right, so I hope whatever that we have done today has been super beneficial for all of you. All right, so if you need any assistance or guidance, you can view this video back under this channel to actually go through it again while you are practicing for essay writing. All right, so with that, thank you.
Thank you for the clear explanation on the exploring today's topic, teacher. I hope all the students understand today's session very well. I also hope the students have learned something new. Now, let's move on to the question and answer session. There is a question from a student. Let me read it out. When we write sentences, the verbs are in the past tense.
Yes, because as you see, when you're writing a story, most of the stories that we have are actually referring to something which has already taken place. So all your verbs are focused on past tense.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome.
Teacher Vijayamalar, can you conclude on today's lesson?
Yes. So today we have actually gone through on how we are going to write essay, all right, a proper essay. Now we have gone through the template style writing, like I've taught all of you just now, okay, where you have your time, subject, verb, and object to actually come and get yourself into writing proper sentence. Okay. Next, the use of effective vocabulary. So when you use proper vocabulary, you can actually express your ideas better. Okay. And once you have gone through all that, proper paragraphing is very important. Okay. It is an important element when it comes to essay writing. So arrange your ideas in the correct form of paragraphs, and there you have it, a great written essay. That's all.
Thank you, Mrs. Vijayamalar. Dear students, please don't leave because the link for the quiz will be given to you at the end of the session. I think the admin can post a link now. Thank you, teacher, for your clear explanation on question and topic. On behalf of the Sudaroli Valaiyoli team, we would like to thank Mrs. Vijayamalar for spending her time and giving some useful information. Special thanks to all our viewers out there for being with us throughout this session, whether on YouTube or Facebook Live. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. That's all for today. Meet you again in the next lesson. Take care. Bye.